trying to be hip.
I gotta be digitally ready.
Trying to be hip.
I have to be digitally ready.
Digitally ready?
What is
digitally.
that?
Because
Digitally
I gotta have my ear to the ground. I get these
You
updates.
sure? It's
God.
not that far.
I get these updates and everything, so I gotta be careful.
Now you know how short you are, so you're not that
Now
far
see,
from the ground.
now we're not gonna go in there because you like maybe inch taller than me. If that.
Nah.
You ever meet that person that always said, "Oh yeah, well, I'm taller than you," and they be like 1 inch taller than you? That's him.
I gotta get my win somewhere. Look,
Oh man.
as we are, the show's already off the rails. Listen, if you've been seeing it, you've been following us on Facebook, Radio Vision Network, the MVP show.
Yes.
PSG, Philly Sports Guys. Tomorrow's a big day for us.
Yes.
Andy's Coal-Fired Pizza, Route 38, Mount Laurel. Come out, support, enjoy some great food, great drink specials. We'll be out there. It's pep rally for Eagles Dallas.
Yeah.
It's gonna start at 6, run about 8:15, 8:30, right up to kickoff. Neil will be there.
Yep.
Our morning show host Mark Brooks will be there. Hopefully you're there with
big
us.
thing. It's a big
Good
thing.
times,
Huge.
you know?
Absolutely huge.
So today we're just really gonna get into it. We're gonna lead Dallas and Eagles for tomorrow.
That's great.
We're gonna talk about the NBA kickoff.
Yes.
Cavs got their rings. The Undertaker was there. He was,
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Well,
That was awesome.
they're
I thought
calling
that was
Kyrie the ankle breaker.
taker. I
Yeah,
see
the
it.
ankle taker. Yeah, you sent it to me.
I
Yeah.
sent that to you.
Yeah.
Kyrie's is in the Undertaker garment on the shirt. Call himself the ankle taker. And look, if you ain't careful, he will take your ankles. 'Cause that
Listen,
man got
I
hands.
mean, when he's healthy, he's
Yeah.
the man. He's one of the best point guards in the league. So
Yeah, and then so that was Tuesday. Rounded out with Utah, Portland. Then D. Lil dropped 39. Then you had San Antonio, Golden State.
Right.
That was a big shock to me. I
What's
know
that?
that. No, I
Antonio?
know. Yeah, I know the Spurs are good in a way, but the fact that they beat them by what was it, 23?
yeah, well, it's going to take time. It's
But
gonna take
Steph
time.
Curry, in his comments after the game, he said it perfectly. It's like getting smacked in the face.
Exactly.
They had so much hype going into the season. They have Kevin Durant now. They have this big team. All this hype, and then they just go out and play like garbage, absolute garbage.
If you think about it, anyone that watched that Miami Heat team, when they first came in, they were 7-9, I think it was.
Yeah, they were very
bad. So the chemistry's going to take time. I mean, they lost some big pieces. They lost Barbosa. They lost Spates. Bogut. I mean,
they lost Barnes, I think, too, right?
Barnes. But some of those guys off the bench, if you remember when Golden State, they had the tough times, they slumped. Those guys off the bench is what kickstarted them to win those games. So it's going to take time.
For me, it was just San Antonio is amazing in the way they keep reinventing themselves.
Right.
They put a new product on the floor every season. And Popovich's inept ability is to change.
Yes.
His flexibility. That's what makes a great coach. And he had Jonathan Simmons. Oh my God.
Where's he from, by the way?
I don't know where he's from, but he's a young player.
Yeah.
We'll look into it. And Kawhi, the way his game keeps evolving and expanding. But listen, I want to say this. So that was Tuesday night. Wednesday night, we had the Sixers kickoff. You had the controversy with 7th Streeter, national anthem. She had a jersey dress on, We Matter. Sixers at the time, in hindsight, they did apologize. I kind of think I'm on both sides of the fence with this one. It's just the shirt that she'd have wore it. I don't think it would have been a big deal by them not allowing her to wear it and sing the national anthem perform, and not giving a real reason why until she posted it. You just drew more flames.
It's a bad look on the PR side. I mean,
yes.
And like I said, I agree with you too, P. I'm on both sides of the situation from an economic standpoint. If you have somebody saying that, a lot of their fans, a lot of the ticket holders will take offense. So you're losing money as a businessman. You don't lose money. So I understand that part. And I understand where she's coming from. She feels she has a platform. She has a voice to bring that out. So she felt she can do that. But hindsight being hindsight, I kind of think she should just wear another dress and basically did what she had to do. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. I mean,
they like to use this type of stage as a way to show how they feel about certain things.
Yeah.
And you look at what Colin Kaepernick has done. You look at all the guys in the NFL that have been doing all these things. I mean, I was at the Giants game a few weeks ago, and I could see out of the corner of my eye several of the Ravens players, down on one knee or putting their hand up in the air, kind of like showing it because they know that it's a national stage. A lot of people are watching the games. They know that people will be, keying on this, and they'll see that, and they'll say they'll have even just a thought. I think even if you just have a thought, it's kind of like that's how they want to get that message across.
What was the crowd reaction when they were doing that?
Oh, at the Giants game?
Yeah, was the crowd were they saying anything?
Nobody was saying anything. Okay. I mean, I heard a few fans behind me who saying that were mentioned like, oh, look at that, they're doing this. But at the same time, it's like I'm okay with it because in a way, like I understand you want to express yourself, freedom of speech. I get that, and at the same time, I'm like, I feel like sometimes people are doing it in a way to make such a big deal about it, and I feel like at times, is it really that big of a deal? I mean, at times, I mean, if you want to do it that way, you could do it that way. I I don't disregard anything that they're doing.
Yeah.
So.
All right. On that note, get right into the game itself.
Right.
Joel Embiid, dream shake from the top for the free throw line, got his first 2 points.
Whew,
And then,
awesome.
I mean, you could just see the energy in that building.
Right.
The Wells Fargo Center for that first game. It was almost like we were waiting 2 years for a build up, and to finally see that. And he's actually calling himself the process. So those 2 years, 3 years with Sam Hinkie no longer here, and to trust the process. Ultimately, he feels like he is the process. I would say he's part of it. And then when Simmons gets on the floor in January, that's the second part of the process.
Absolutely.
So, and then I didn't like what I saw from Jahlil Okafor. I mean, I know he's still trying to get back from the knee surgery. He was very sparingly, but he looked out of shape, and we really had a chance to preseason and practice. I really think that with him and Embiid alternating on the floor, you can have the offensive presence. They should have won that game.
They did. They gave it away. I mean, the thing is, like you said, just to piggyback off what you said, I mean, the crowd, just the area, how everyone was feeling, the energy was out there. I mean, just to see him, we waited 2 long years, and we've been waiting for this. And, and the fact that he just came out, 20 points, 18, 20 minutes, I mean, it's just magical to see what he can do, the potential. And, of course, he just got to stay healthy. I mean, if he stays healthy, a lot of experts are saying he's probably going to be one of the great ones, you know, so...
And I was really impressed by the crowd in Philly. You know, I tuned in to watch the game for a while, and I was like, wow, you know, like there's so many people here. There's so much. There was a lot of noise, a lot of energy. And when I was watching Embiid play, I was like, wow, he really looks like he's come back.
Yeah.
I feel that. Do you guys feel? And this is just a question to you two. Do you feel that means that it's going to be the end of Nerlens Noel's time in Philly?
When he comes back, I think they're going to trade him.
You think they're going to trade him?
From what I understand, per Howard Eskin, they were actually shopping him and Okafor at the draft. They were really shopping him, but no one really wanted to give him anything that they were looking for. But I really think Noel's going to be going after he comes back.
You think Knicks fans are now celebrating because you remember the Knicks fans were saying we want Okafor, and then they drafted Porzingis because the Sixers took Okafor. Now do you think people are saying like, well, we kind of got to, Knicks fans are probably saying, I'm glad we took Porzingis instead of Okafor because...
I don't know. It's hard to say because I think Okafor and Porzingis is apples and oranges.
Right.
I mean, but for us as a Sixers fan, if they would have took Porzingis and seen what he's become, what his ceiling is, compare that to him and Joel Embiid, you would have and Simmons.
Right, no, I got that.
And Simmons, so I mean, it's one of those things about that. But for Knicks fans, I think with Okafor and D Rose there and Melo and Okafor, their games are completely different. So where Okafor wouldn't affect Melo or he wouldn't affect D Rose. He really could have just been that low post presence and that low post scorer. Now for me, the one thing, just looking at Embiid's stat line, couple blocks, 20 points in 21 minutes, I think it was, and then also he had 4 fouls.
Right.
So that when his minutes started getting up and they get increased, I want him to be aggressive on the defensive side, but I don't want him to get himself into foul trouble as well. But you can see just his attitude, his I want to say his arrogance, his confidence.
Yeah, I mean his presence. I mean just the fact. I mean look at it.
He's just happy to be back.
As far as a basketball standpoint, and you can see the difference between him and Okafor when he got off the floor. Like his presence. I mean, a lot of those shots they couldn't make because they were so worried about getting there ball swatted. And then when Okafor got in there, you could see the drop off.
It
was a quick drop off.
It looked like the defensive side.
Exactly. That's what I'm referring to.
I felt like every time Embiid came out of the game, that's when the Thunder started clicking again. But every time Embiid would come back, like the crowd noise got louder and louder every time he came back on the court. And all of a sudden, I started seeing like Westbrook. He was kind of like not thinking about tuning. Oh, you wanna?
Listen, that's our MVP. I'm predicting right now.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
I'm making my predictions.
I agree with that.
I had that same thought this morning after that triple double last night.
Oh, that was
49 points,
51
points. What? 15 assists.
15 assists
and 12 rebounds off him.
Crazy.
12 assists rather. I mean,
crazy.
That's our MVP right there. I mean,
I don't know if he'll be in the top.
If he stays healthy.
If he stays healthy.
I mean, you think him, you think Harden. Because Harden's gonna post some stat lines.
True.
And D'Antonio's offense, but Harden, offhand, anyone else draft pick offhand. I mean,
LeBron
will be in the talks. Steph, of course.
I think D.
You think KD?
Lil will be in the talks.
D. Lil will be in talks.
And
I
think Anthony Davis will be in talks.
Yes,
I like
the Brown.
So let's
park
a lot that. Let's park a lot the basketball right there for the MVP. Because on the other side, I always like to do this.
Okay.
I always like to do this, and it's at their expense that I do this. We talk about the show. What we're going to talk about. I'm going to throw them a curveball. We haven't talked about it. I'm not even going to tell them on the break.
Okay.
So then we come back, Philly Sports Guys, along with NVP.
I like the break. I like that.
We'll be back with you. Philly Sports Guys, MVP. I kind of
It's all good. It's all
Radio
good.
Vision Network. It's Saturday, people. Stick with us. It's cold outside, so you got to stay inside.
It's cold in here, too.
Absolutely.
It's cold in here right now.
Sub some sizzle. This is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Simply Gents, located in Marlton, New Jersey, takes care of all your grooming needs, including haircuts, straight razor shaves, massages, facials, manicures, pedicures, and waxing. To find more information or book an appointment, visit us online at www.simplygents.com. The secret weapon of a well-groomed man, Simply Gents.
If you haven't been to Speed Raceway, what are you waiting for? You want to live fast? You want to make every second count? Then grab the family. Round up the guys. Speed Raceway is 100,000 square feet of excitement, whether you're a kid or a kid at heart. Speed Raceway is the place for endless fun all summer long. Log on to speedraceway.com or just get here now.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Today's show was brought to you by Alicia Kelly of White Horse RV Center in Williamstown, New Jersey. Alicia is your RV expert. Contact Alicia at whitehorserv.com or give her a call at 856-262-1717, extension 203. When you think of RV, think Alicia Kelly.
Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike Skoranek, your local Farmers Insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
Welcome back, Philly Sports Guys, along with MVP. As I told you on the other side, going to throw him a little curveball.
Okay,
All right.
This is the curveball. Right
Okay.
here. So, with the World Series, Game 3 was played last night. You have Cleveland and Chicago. Very good for ratings, but listen to this. So, as we all know, the NFL ratings have been down throughout the year.
Right.
NFL through 7 weeks on Monday Night Football has been averaging 10 million viewers.
Okay.
Okay.
The World Series has been averaging around 14 million viewers.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm not totally shocked.
No, I'm not shocked.
Not shocked about it.
Nah.
Is it because of the teams?
It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit the teams, and it's a little bit because of the storylines of the teams.
Okay.
Both teams, Cleveland hasn't won in over 50 years.
Right.
Chicago hasn't won over 100 years.
1 or 8.
1 or 8. So, I mean, just to see, first of all, they have been the underdogs for so long. Now they're on top, and it's a great story. Everything's painted. It's like a picture. It's all painted together. It's all run together, and the viewers want to see that.
And at the same time, you have to think about this. Like, I understand Monday Night Football is a big thing, and I get that. But at the same time, it's the regular season, and we're only halfway through the regular season. A lot of people, especially the average football fan, is not ready to really start focusing on the NFL until we start getting to figure out who's going to be in the playoffs,
Yes.
once the playoffs start, and all that stuff. You're in the World Series. You're in late October, almost November, and now you're in the end of the baseball season because it's a pretty we go back from beginning of March, like end of March, February, and all the way to October,
Right.
and now we're finally get to see it. Like you said, two great storylines. Both teams over 50 years it's been since they've won a World Series, and I get that. That's big. And at the same time, and I'm gonna be honest, some of the Monday Night Football games we've seen this year have not been really that
I was
entertaining.
going to say that, man.
I'm
I was going to
glad
say
you
I
that.
mean, I'm a Giants fan, and I saw them play against the
Horrible.
Vikings on Monday night, and it looked horrible. That was a one-sided game. Unless you're a fan of one of those two teams, Are you really gonna sit there and watch it?
I don't watch the Justin Cardinals.
How many people do you think watched the Steelers versus the Redskins? Like that was the first week.
I mean,
Yeah,
you probably got some viewers.
They had more fans watching the Monday night preseason game between the Rams and the Cowboys
Yeah, that's very true.
than they probably have had in any regular season game this year.
When I was coming up as a kid, the featured game of the week was Monday night.
Right,
football.
right.
I don't know what changed.
It's
now
too much.
It's now Sunday night.
It's
Sunday
too
night
much, though.
football, whatever games are on that for
That's
Sunday
the best
football,
night, yeah.
that's the best game.
Yeah.
I think the one thing I think the one thing that might be interesting to think about in understanding that is maybe just the people who are doing the game. I mean,
I mean, the commentators themselves.
yeah.
I know, but
Because look at this.
they like
Think
Jake
about it this way.
Gruden.
Think about it this way. On NBC, it's kind of been a little bit consistent. You know, Al Michaels has been doing it for years. He did it with John Madden for years.
Sure.
And now you have Chris Collinsworth, who's been also doing it for a
And
long
Mike
time.
Tirico's there now.
Mike Tirico's now doing it. He was the Monday Night Football guy.
He's going.
Now
he's
you
the
have
successor to
now
Al
you have
Michaels.
McDonough,
Yes.
and you have John Gruden,
point.
who obviously Gruden's been there for years. But the thing is that they had so many big things. And you think about it, when Monday Night Football was first coming up, that was a big thing to people because everybody was so used to having football played on Sundays that, you know, when you think about Monday, you're like, oh snap, now we got a football game. You know, when my cousin was playing for the Raiders and he used to play on Monday night when they played the Steelers, that was a big thing to people.
Yeah.
A lot of people tuned into that.
And
So I think the reason that changed is not just because of the commentators, but just the fact of also you have to do a better job of setting up these teams. I know that the schedule comes out well before the season starts, but at the same time, you have to kind of think
The
about
matchups,
you have to think about what makes sense. What is going to get us more ratings?
Yeah,
that
I
type of
definitely
thing.
agree with that. But I think between the anthem, I think between the bad
Yeah.
calls,
It's
the
election
penalties,
year. Yeah.
and it's election year, if you put all
Which,
that together
thank
in a
God,
mixed
we're
bag,
almost out of the
you put-
election year.
yes,
2 weeks
but if
from
you
now.
put all that in a
Thank
mixing
you.
bag, that's
I'm
what's
so done.
causing the ratings to go down for the NFL. And the NFL needs to figure it out. I mean, and then plus,
But do they
and
really
plus,
need to? Do they
but
really need
plus-
to figure it out though?
I mean, but plus Twitter. Think about Twitter. I mean,
Right.
a lot of people watching games on Twitter now.
No, but not
So-
Twitter. They said
to
the
me
Twitter
that's
don't
dumb.
work.
I just
Yeah.
want to say that.
They
Yeah,
say the
what?
Twitter, the stream is bad. But this is my thing. Does the NFL really need to figure it out? When the money's still going to be there,
Right.
At some point, you hit a plateau to where it's going to come down.
Right, but see the thing is, and we have to realize this: NFL doesn't think like regular people.
That's true.
Honestly,
That is so true.
They're
I'm
so
laughing because
obsessed
that's
with
so
football because think of this: they're the number one genre, the number one thing. They have a whole day generated
Right.
football. Sunday used to be the church. I mean, it's a great line from Concussion, the movie.
Yeah.
Sunday used to be church. Now they own this day. So you got to look at that. So the NFL's thinking like, okay, we're losing ratings, so we got to get those numbers back up.
They
What are we
do.
gonna do to do it?
Now
So-
my thing is, I think they need to do away with Thursday night. We talked about it before.
Yeah, 'cause
we
it's
talked
too
about it
much.
last week.
Okay, yeah, the
I-
Thursday night game is
It's too
so
much.
pointless to me. I mean, even
Even the
this
players,
last game.
even the
Titans,
players, it's
yeah.
too much for the
The
players.
only I feel like the only reason now that it's even still a big deal is because of the color rush uniforms. My question is this: why don't they just play them on Sundays? What does that matter?
Yeah.
Or why don't they play them on? What if you want to get more ratings and more people to watch?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you let those guys wear them on Monday night?
Yeah.
Because when more fans want to kind of just see the uniforms in person just for that reason,
Yeah.
I mean that would make make more sense.
Yeah, I like I said, I'm not opposed to the Thursday night. I wish the way they introduced it when it was Thanksgiving and they did like the last 6 or
Yeah.
7
Bring it right
weeks of the
after.
season.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that, but
Yeah.
like, listen, I just want to say, Titans and Jags.
All
Titans,
due respect.
That was
all due
so,
respect.
that was
Listen,
so.
I
God.
feel bad. I'm in your. I suffer with you, Allen Robinson fantasy owners. Please, like he is about to get dropped from our fantasy team because Blake Bortles is just so bad this year. Who threw 35 touchdowns last year?
I don't understand what happened.
It's Blake
I don't
Bortles.
understand.
I watched the game on
it's
Thursday.
the
It's
offense.
Bortles.
Well,
It's-
you know what?
It's the offense.
You know what they
Honestly,
he
new
did
offense
say
is it.
for some reason his throw motion is back where it used to be in college, where it's long and it's elongated and it's like it takes too long to get the ball out.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the problems. He needs to go see George Whitfield, one of those.
And also one of the things is that he has a new offense that he's running
Yes.
over,
Yes.
and so that takes a lot of time. I mean, I give you like one example I can sort of give you is like Eli Manning. The first year he ran that offense,
Yes.
he had a league high in interceptions.
Yes, he did.
He really stunk the joint out.
He did.
And you know, the next year he comes out and he has one of his best statistical years he's ever had. So do I think that Blake Bortles is going to get better? Yeah, I mean, I still think he's a very good quarterback. But like you said, his throwing motion looks different than what I started seeing. And also the new offense. So it takes time to get everything squared away. But I think he should go see George Whitfield and kind of get that.
Absolutely.
Now, see,
He's
with
a
that
quarterback
being
doctor.
said, for me, what I get out of it, I look at Marquise Lee's stat line or Alan Hearn's stat line, and they're consistently getting more yards and more catches than Allen Robinson. The one game that Allen Robinson had, he has two touchdowns. They both came in the same game. That was a game against the Colts in Indianapolis.
That was, is that the London game?
London game.
That was the London game.
Against the Colts.
Right, against the Colts from the London game.
I don't know. We'll get to it. I don't even know what the Thursday matchup is for next week, but I'm gonna get back to Game 4 tonight.
Right.
Kluber versus Lackey.
Yep.
If Chicago doesn't win this one,
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
They're done.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
I think they're done anyway.
Nah, I don't know. I don't know.
That's
No,
right.
I really do.
You've
I
been
really do.
anti-Chicago for a while.
What?
You said what?
You've been anti-Chicago.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
he has
absolutely.
Been. Yeah, he has been.
I already told. I
Is it
mean,
because of
people
Epstein?
who watched my show last
No.
week, they know what
Why
I'm
is
talking
it?
about.
Why is it? Because Epstein or what is it?
Okay, I'm gonna make this very clear to everybody.
It could be
Everybody in the
Epstein.
room. Everybody in the room needs to
Because a
understand.
lot of
this.
people like Epstein.
Here's the thing. Let me ask you a question. Who was the favorite to win the World Series at the beginning of the year?
Chicago.
Who was the favorite to win the World Series halfway through the season?
Chicago.
Who is the favorite to win the World Series at the end of the year?
Chicago.
Chicago.
Here's my point.
Okay.
If Chicago wins the World Series, will it be big? In
Yes.
a way, yes.
Very
100 plus
big.
years, it's over. But at
Yes.
the same time, most people will be like, well, they were expected to win it. The thing about Cleveland, did you think Cleveland was going to even make the playoffs this year?
Yes, I did think that.
Did you really?
No, I did.
Did you really think they're going to make the
Frank
playoffs?
Cohen, he can coach. He can coach his
He
tail
was
off,
10 and 1 in the
man.
World
Where did they
Series.
finish?
I will admit that.
He
But
can
the
coach
thing
his
is
tail
that
off,
the thing is
man.
that
Good coaches sometimes
I
bring
feel
things
like
together.
also the Cubs are vastly overrated. Do they have a great offense? Yes, but how many times do we shut out? They've been shut out, I believe, 4 times in the postseason this year.
And
Twice by
Cleveland has 5 shutouts.
5 shutouts.
Their pitching's been
And it's
dominant.
about
I don't say the pitching is ball.
It's about pitching. In my opinion, the 2 things that are big in postseason, especially in the World Series, is pitching and timely hitting.
Yes.
And
Situational hitting.
last night, you had great pitching by Andrew Miller and that pitching staff by Cleveland, and you had timely hitting by Coco Crisp, who had the only run of the game.
He's still around.
And Rajay Davis does not need to get thrown out going first or third. Jeez.
Right.
Like, just, no, take the base as a... Luckily, it worked out for Cleveland.
Right.
But that was just... In Cleveland, usually, they run the bases very, very well.
Right, they do.
That was... Luckily, that mistake didn't cost them.
Just wasn't smart.
It
Right.
could have cost them.
And-
Wasn't smart base running.
And you look at, and I just want to say this, you look at the first 3 games, and you look at the 2 games Cleveland has won.
Okay.
Right.
How many runs did they score in game 1?
0.
Scored 0. How many runs did they score in game 3?
0.
0. They scored 5 in game 2,
2.
and it was in Cleveland. I will give them that. But the
Okay.
thing is this. The thing is that their pit. Did you notice the difference? What was the difference in game 2? Who wasn't pitching?
Kluber.
Kluber wasn't pitching. Who else wasn't pitching?
Miller.
Miller wasn't pitching. Who else wasn't pitching? Their closer. Well, obviously because of
I mean,
thing.
he
But
makes
those
some
are
good
3.
points. He makes some
And
good points.
and you think about it. You think about this.
Mhm.
You just look at their pitching staff, the way that they performed all postseason long. Like I said, they played the Blue Jays in the ALCS, who had on paper a tremendous offense.
Tremendous offense.
Shut them out
They,
twice.
They were leading the
Twice.
playoffs and hitting home runs.
And beat them twice in Toronto.
That's
The
true.
Cubs can be beat. This isn't impossible.
No, I'm not saying
I'm
it's not.
gonna say this. I'm gonna say this.
So
The MLB wants those ratings, so don't be surprised. And I'm predicting and saying that. If the
They tried to
And
get
also
against
the-
Chicago
Listen,
yesterday.
And I
listen.
wanna
They're
say
going
this.
and they're going to give it to him tonight. Watch what I tell you. Remember I said that, people.
oh, here we go.
Family out there.
No, I think
Cubs will win
Lackey's going to
tonight.
get hit
No,
today.
they're not.
I think Lackey's going
Cubs,
to get
Cubs
hit
will win
tonight.
tonight.
Cubs are not winning tonight.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if they
Also,
win.
I just want to make this other thing
MLB
clear.
wants MLB is starving for more ratings. I'm telling you, it's more
They
money.
have it.
And they're
This
gonna
is the
get-
highest
They're
rated
fine.
World
But
Series. They're already
But what
winning.
I'm saying is they want to stretch it out as long as they can.
You're
This has
too
been
much
the-
of a
this
conspiracy.
This has been the most.
Hey, it's
this
the
has been the most
truth.
highest
It's about
rated
economics.
World Series since the
Marketing, money.
Yankees and
That's what
Phillies
it
in
is.
09.
Yes.
The Yankees and Phillies in 09 had a huge rating
Yes, they
because you look at
did.
the defending world champions versus
The Yankees.
the Yankees, who are finally back in the World
Yeah,
Series.
and plus it's the Yankees.
And
I
then,
mean,
yeah, obviously. And then you look, and then so you have the Cubs and the Indians, the 2 teams that are the teams that are starving the most for a world
exactly.
championship.
So you don't think?
But also,
you
I just
don't
want to
think
say
that
this.
they want to stretch it out to the 7th game?
No.
Tell me.
No.
I think they're
They can still do
I
that.
already
By, they
said-
can still do that by letting Chicago win tomorrow
Chicago
night.
gonna win tonight. I'm telling you.
What you want to put on?
I just want to say that the big
No,
other
I'm
big
talking
reason.
about
Sandwich.
Huh?
Sandwich.
Okay.
We do sandwich.
Okay.
Am I part of this or is this
You
You get in on it. You get on it.
I'll go in on it.
Yeah.
I
Who-
say Cleveland
Cubs
wins
will
it.
win.
It's
No, this tonight. This tonight.
just tonight.
Cubs.
Cleveland wins tonight.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So
give you a score.
Oh, you're gonna let me hear
Let me
it.
give you a
Let
score.
me hear it.
8-4.
You
What?
are no way.
No. Don't say no. Don't say no. You want a sandwich, right?
I want to say what.
8-4.
Should I give a score now?
No, don't give
You want me to get a score? All
Go
right.
ahead. Give me a score. I want to hear it. Give me a score.
You really want to score?
Give me a score.
Well,
The
what-
people want to hear it. The people
All right.
want to hear it.
All right.
Neil,
All right, here we
MVP.
go. Here we go. 4-1, Cleveland.
It's 4-1.
4-1.
Pete.
I think they're lucky to get the 1 run. By the way.
I'm thinking like 3-1.
Cleveland.
4-1.
Okay.
Of course.
All right.
Listen, don't get me
Still
wrong.
gets
Don't
one,
get me
baby.
don't get me wrong. I think Chicago Kluber get hit a little bit, but you have to understand they have. Listen,
Their pitch staff is off the hook. I mean,
it's not even Kluber. No,
I'm not saying that.
Chicago has a way deeper rotation.
Absolutely.
They do.
But you have to understand, Kluber, yeah. But after the drop off to him, Tomlin, he did what he needed to do. He got 5 innings last night.
And
Kyle Hendricks is the NL Cy Young Award.
Right.
So, but John Lackley, no.
And the other thing, I find
I
is so
don't-
funny.
Lester
I
not
was-
pitching tonight.
I
I
was
don't understand that either.
well.
I
I
just
think here's the thing.
the
I
bats
think
will
they
wake up
feel
tonight.
that if they
think the
can
bats
win
will wake up
tonight, and they'll go into Cleveland for Game 5,
Okay.
and they know that's a big game
No,
because they
Game
know if
5
they
is
win
Chicago,
that
too.
game,
Oh, it's two,
It's
2-3-2.
it's
Okay.
2-3-2.
Yes.
I never liked that. Even with the NBA, I never liked that.
Well, here's the thing. I'm
like
thinking. This is what I'm thinking. Like, Cleveland wins this game.
Mhm.
I can't think that I know the Cubs have had a lot of things going for them this year.
Okay.
I just can't see them coming from 3-1, knowing that 2 of the
I agree
next
with that.
3 games are in Cleveland.
I agree with that.
Regardless of whether they already won a game there
that's
or
why-
You're
not.
going to
That's
see
why-
Kluber. You're going to see
That's why
Kluber
they're going to
again.
win tonight. That's
And
why they're
I
going to
want
win
to
tonight.
say
I'm
this.
telling you.
I
Watch.
know that the offense of the Indians has been talked about enough,
Mhm.
but at the same time, to me, they're one of those offenses that you're just waiting for one of these games where they're just going to explode.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something.
Because they have a good lineup if you really think about it.
Quiet is kept. This dude ends up on teams and just wins World Series. Who am I talking about?
Are you talking about Ben Zobrist by any chance?
No.
Oh, I was close.
Hold on, let me think.
He's on Cleveland.
He's on Cleveland right now.
Chicago. He's played for Boston. He won one. I think he won.
Oh, wait. I think I might know what you're talking about.
Go ahead, give me another hint.
He started in Los Angeles. That's who he was at. He was a catcher.
Catcher.
Now he played first base last night.
Mike Napoli?
Yes.
Oh,
You're
right. Party at
You're
Napoli.
right.
That was
You're
great.
right.
I don't understand that. And Francona likes him.
Yeah.
He's a good hitter.
That's his boy.
He's a good hitter.
He's
hitter.
like a team leader in the locker room. You know.
And he knows, and
And he
here's the other
knows
thing.
baseball.
He knows what it takes to win.
Exactly.
None
He
of
knows
the,
how to win. Most
only
importantly.
the only 2 guys on that team that know what it takes to win a World Series are Francona and Napoli. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty much. You look at everybody else. Nobody else knows how to do it. They're happy. A lot of people are. I can't believe that I saw some people saying, "Oh, the Cubs are the underdogs in this series." Are you serious? Come on.
This is my thing.
Again, that's what I'm saying. The Cubs have been predicted and
Yeah.
expected to be here.
So
The
you're
Indians
on some
are not.
you're like that guy rested so
Also-
that you're like Dennis Green. You want to crown him.
And also, I want to say that. And also, I want to say this: the fact that Chicago sports have had a good thing going recently.
Yes.
Come on, think about it. The Blackhawks 3 of the
That's
last
the
6.
funny thing.
Let me
That's the
no.
funny
Let
thing.
me say
Somebody
this:
said that. Go
3
ahead.
of the last 6 years, the Chicago
Blackhawks.
Blackhawks have won the Stanley Cup. Am I correct or am I not?
I agree with you on that one because somebody said that on
And-
TV. Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
And
Now I'm making
the
my point.
Bulls have had relatively some good years. They had
Yeah.
Derrick Rose. They still have Jimmy Butler.
Mhm.
They
Wade
they have
slashing the throat on
they
the
have,
board.
they have,
right?
wait- they have waited
But
stuff.
the knees don't
and,
look
like,
suspect still, though. His
and-
knees.
So and then you look at like ESPN just put a 30 for 30 out last year
Uh-huh.
about Cleveland, about how like hey have no luck in sports.
And look, boom.
So
LeBron
why in the
blew
heck
over.
does Chicago need another champion? I get it. The
Because
Cubs.
it's the Cubs.
I'm okay
I
with
get
that.
that.
I'm okay
But
with
at the
them
same time, it's like, wouldn't you kind of want to see Cleveland win it to kind of get all that stupid insulting of Cleveland away?
But the thing is, I'm okay with either one to win. I'm okay with either one.
I'm not.
I mean, honestly,
I'm
I want to see the Cubs win because I like Madden. I like Joe Madden a lot. I think he's a great coach.
He's the best. I
a
think
P-
I think he's best
He's
manager
a
in
PA
baseball.
guy. He's from
Who?
Pennsylvania.
Man,
He's one of the best.
I don't think he's a better manager
Nah.
than Francona.
It's push or pull. Either way.
Francona's just so
Either way.
quiet
I
and
mean,
so good.
but Franconi's the man. That's what
Absolutely.
I'm
I
saying.
just-
Tito.
He's the man.
Listen, so all right, that's baseball talk.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't know out there, Neil is a Giants fan. As you
Yes.
know, you are Eagles fans.
He's a Giants
So
fan.
they played last week. They had an early game in London, a game that
That was
landed-
annoying.
landed-
That
landed-
that was-
it was
that was-
That was
ugly.
an ugly game, man. That was an
Both
ugly
I,
played
game.
an ugly
I
game.
didn't even watch the game.
My question is this.
Oh, you're gonna ask me now.
This is what I'm talking about.
No,
Frauds in
go
NFL.
ahead. Go-
How is Case Keenum still starting after throwing 4 interceptions and looking?
Because a lot of them wasn't his fault. The
2 of them weren't his fault. You're right. It was tips.
And no, not even the last one.
Did you see the last-
The
What?
receiver ran the wrong.
Nah.
Even
No,
Jack
no,
Wilson
no.
said-
No, the last
That's
interception
his
was
fault.
on him.
That's his fault.
No.
That was a
Brian
that was a
Cook said
They all
bad
said
throw.
throw.
it. They all said it. Nah, it was on him, buddy.
That
I'm
was-
telling you.
I would say 3 out of the 4
My
interceptions
thing
were
is,
on him.
I want to know where in the world is Jared Goff
He's
and why
sucks.
is.
He's
he's
not
vastly
advancing
overrated.
in
But
practice.
they
That's
can't
why
be.
they're
He can't be that bad though.
Yes.
Yes,
yes.
he
can't be that bad.
Yes, he can.
My thing is this: you have
I
that
don't
big
get it.
old boy in the backfield, Gurley.
Right.
Give him the ball 25 times a game.
throw some screen. I was bowling. I bowl.
Okay.
University Lanes in Glassboro on Sunday.
You give shout outs? Okay. You give shout outs, y'all.
Yes. So I'm watching the game.
Okay.
In between my turn, and I'm like, why they haven't thrown one pass? They haven't thrown one screen pass to the girl.
Well,
the next play, screen pass was like 30 yards.
That's what the Chargers do with Melvin Gordon.
Yeah,
they do screen pass and that works.
Fantasy
But keep in mind, now listen to this. Rick Boris was defensive guy, right?
Yeah.
They switched him to offensive coordinator. That's part of the problem.
That
they
makes no sense.
at all.
They did a Juan Castillo?
Yes. They need an offensive guy.
Yes.
They need an offensive guy, wasn't her, somebody like that to come in and help the young kid, cultivate him, have him play where he needs to play. Because right now they don't have that. So that could be one of the reasons.
I don't know what's going on just from the outside looking in with the Giants offense. The offensive line is still suspect.
Yes.
It's been suspect for like 5 years now, so there's nothing new.
Shout out to my brother Fred Miller. He's pissed because they didn't draft the big boy that's in Miami right now.
Oh boy.
Tunsil.
And Tunsil. And that's going to bite them for the next 5 to 10 years. Remember I said this, y'all. This is going to bite the Giants.
They got
AJ
and Jai. They got Jay and Jai looking like
this will bite y'all for the next 10 years.
Dale Sayers out there.
Listen, if he's healthy, and I'm saying it now, he's going to be Hall of Famer. And y'all missed out. Yes. I'm saying it right now.
Yeah, he's
going to be Hall of Famer.
As soon as he doesn't get in trouble for drugs again.
Like I said, if he stays out of trouble and stays healthy,
man.
No.
Yeah, but the NFL is so tight about it.
Yeah, because that's because they have a handshake with the pharmaceutical companies. That's why.
Right.
But no, going back to how do you? So you didn't watch the game at all?
Mm-hmm.
I heard it on the radio. I was traveling while the game was going on.
It was ugly.
I know it was. I saw the highlights. I got it.
The Giants still struggled to move the ball. I think Victor Cruz was the leading receiver. He had 5 catches for 50 some odd yards. Sterling Shepard had about 3 or 4 catches for around 39, 40 yards. I think he had like 40 yards or something.
He had like 45 somewhere.
But it was like 3 or 4 catches. It's just I don't get it. And this is the bye week for them. Yes, they do play the Eagles next Sunday, November the 6th.
How about that? 3 teams come off a bye.
I don't understand.
Mr. Schedule person, where you at? Why'd you get to this?
Now this is different.
I'll get a chance to see that live because I'm going. I will be at that game.
Is that a 1 o'clock game or 4
o'clock? That is a 1 o'clock game, I believe.
That should be a primetime game.
I don't know if it should be.
You think that should be like Fox's game of the week or something?
Exactly. Give me 4 o'clock.
You want Joe Buck to be announcing that one?
I like Joe Buck.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank
you. Somebody other than me likes Joe Buck.
There's a lot of hateration, holleration.
I mean,
I don't hate Joe Buck. I don't love Joe Buck, but I don't hate
All right,
Joe
but
Buck.
let's not get into that discussion.
Anyway, go ahead.
But so you asked me about the Giants offense.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing that just aggravates me to no end. They obviously have no running attack.
Okay.
And it's frustrating.
Or these dark wide.
And they're trying so freaking hard to try to get the ball to all 3 of those guys, Shepard, Odell, and Cruz. I get that.
Instead, let the game just come to them, basically. Right?
And also, here's the thing. And like you said, the offensive line is suspect, and that's what, unfortunately, Eli has to deal with.
If we come out of tomorrow's game healthy, our defensive line against that offensive line,
you good.
It's done.
We're good.
We'll see.
Now, what about I just thought about this.
We got to break.
We got to go break. I asked after we come back.
Yeah, come back when we talk about it.
Listen, we'll come back on the other side. We'll dive into a review of the Eagles-Vikings. We'll do our PSG picks and MVP picks. Philly Sports Guys, MVP, Radio Vision Network. Come back. Stick with us.
Today's show is sponsored by Hargrove Demolition, your demolition experts. Hargrove is a family-owned and operated business right here in the southern New Jersey area, bringing you 45 years of demolition expertise. Hargrove has all your demolition needs, from emergency demolition service to demolition equipment rental. Hargrove is one of the state-approved recycling facilities right here in the southern New Jersey area. No job is too big or too small for Hargrove Demolition. Contact them today at one of their 3 locations.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to give a sub some sizzle, this is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
If you haven't been to Speed Raceway, what are you waiting for? You want to live fast? You want to make every second count? Then grab the family. Round up the guys. Speed Raceway is 100,000 square feet of excitement, whether you're a kid or a kid at heart. Speed Raceway is the place for endless fun all summer long. Log on to speedraceway.com or just get here now.
When we make Beyond Natural dry dog and cat foods, we start with real meat as the first ingredient. We leave out corn, wheat, and soy. And we own where our dry food is made. 100%. Can other brands say all that? For nutrition you can trust and your pet will enjoy. Does your food go beyond? Learn more at purinabeyond.com.
Extra Innings is the nation's premier indoor baseball and softball training center, featuring indoor batting cages, 7 multi-use tunnels, and training rooms. Extra Innings can provide professional instruction, private and group lessons, and the best year-round clinics. Along with a nationally recognized pro shop that features the latest and widest selection of equipment and apparel, our experienced staff can provide you with the right instruction and help you find the best equipment for your ability and budget. Extra Innings, where the game never ends.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Sub some sizzle. This is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Simply Gents, located in Marlton, New Jersey, takes care of all your grooming needs, including haircuts, straight razor shaves, massages, facial, manicures, pedicures, and waxing. To find more information or book an appointment, visit us online at www.simplygents.com. The secret weapon of a well-groomed man, Simply Gents.
If you haven't been to Speed Raceway, what are you waiting for? You want to live fast? You want to make every second count? Then grab the family. Round up the guys. Speed Raceway is 100,000 square feet of excitement, whether you're a kid or a kid at heart. Speed Raceway is the place for endless fun all summer long. Log on to speedraceway.com or just get here now.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Today's show was brought to you by Alicia Kelly of White Horse RV Center in Williamstown, New Jersey. Alicia is your RV expert. Contact Alicia at whitehorserv.com or give her a call at 856-262-1717, extension 203. When you think of RV, think Alicia Kelly.
Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, Call Mike Skoranek, your local farmer's insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Saving your business money is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Tanker Consulting Services, a payment solutions expert, will show you how with a free, detailed, written analysis illustrating your cost savings. We usually uncover savings between 10 and 25%, and sometimes more. We can help your business succeed by providing reliable and secure merchant payment solutions such as merchant services programs, point-of-sale systems, and ATM machines. TCS, one of the leaders in regional credit card processing consulting, offers electronic payments to merchants locally and nationwide through our preferred vendor programs. We work to keep business costs down with a comprehensive suite of quality products, services, and customized credit card processing programs exclusively tailored for your company. TCS is convenient, reliable, and innovative, with customer service available 24/7, 365 days a year. Our in-depth industry knowledge, partnership strategy, and innovative processing solutions allow for a specialized approach to providing merchant bank processing with 100% full fee disclosure. TCS is one-stop shopping for all your merchant services solutions. Our clients save money 100% of the time. Trust Tanker Consulting Services, the knowledgeable, professional, and friendly provider of secure payment services. We set the standard by which others are measured. Call now for a free written analysis. 609-922.
Jets fans, and I hear people say like what the Jets need to do with their offense is run the ball more. No, that's not what they do. The thing in the NFL, and this is something that I've noticed with a lot of teams, the pass sets up the run, not the other way around. I'm sorry, it doesn't happen now.
For Dallas. Yeah, I'm about to say some teams it works for us.
Well, it's some teams it doesn't work.
Well, we have a great
look at Dallas' offensive line. That's like 5 Pro Bowls right there.
By the way, Zeke's about to break that record. I hope everybody knows that. He's going to break the record.
What record?
The 2000 record.
No, he's
really.
Yes.
I thought about that last
year.
He's
going to break it. I'm telling you, he's on pace. He's already on pace. He's on pace. He's on pace to do it.
Hopefully that pace. Hopefully that pace
doesn't start against us.
No, I was going to say to you, I think that pace is going to stop with the Eagles.
Listen,
because here's why. I'm just saying this. Do I think Dak Prescott is the best quarterback on the Cowboys right now? Yeah.
Yeah, right
I
now
do.
He is.
Right now, yeah, and I think he's the future of that team.
He is.
I think so. I think he still needs time to develop as a passer. Okay. So I feel like they're going to want to give the ball. And also, the Cowboys, like I just said, they have a tremendous offensive line. Mm-hmm. They made Darren McFadden look good.
They did. He had 1,000 yards.
They made Darren McFadden look good, and that was impressive. Mm-hmm. And so what I'm saying is that the Eagles are going to focus squarely on that, because if you think about it, how many times have you seen Dak Prescott? And I know he's been hurt, but how many times have you seen Dak Prescott throw the ball to Dez?
Yeah. Not that
who
many.
else do they have? Who else has receivers besides Dez Bryant? Who do they have on that team?
Terrence Williams.
The biggest matchup, the biggest matchup problem is Cole
Beasley.
Beasley.
Yeah, Beasley.
Cole Beasley, right?
He's balling right now.
He's so.
Well, if you put Malcolm did a decent job against him.
I wouldn't be surprised if you start watching the game.
He did. But you know what I would do? I would actually kick Mills inside, because I think Mills is physical enough to stick Beasley, and he's fast enough to stick Beasley.
Now watch
That's
this.
What I would do.
You're going to start seeing the Eagles stack the box. You're going to see, especially on the first and second down.
We don't want to get too much.
Yeah, we won't get too much. We won't get too much. We won't get too much.
And I'm a Giants fan, so what the heck am I talking about?
All right, so we can finish that another time, but I know we want to talk about some of the picks we have.
Yeah. So we're gonna, as you know, we do picks every week. I know Neil does picks on his show, and this is a little mashup, a little combination show.
Right.
So we're gonna do some college picks first. I know Neil's heavy in the college scene when it comes to football.
Sure.
We also want to talk about a little bit about top 4 or 5 Heisman.
I like that. I like that.
So we have Washington versus
Utah. Yep.
You have Clemson versus
Florida State.
Michigan versus Michigan State.
Whew. Yeah. And also, don't forget Notre Dame versus Miami.
I mean,
Notre Dame is after.
It's a big rivalry, though. Like, that's going to get a lot of views.
I think if they were both undefeated, it would be off the charts. But right now, they're both not undefeated. Notre Dame's having a bad year because they lost all those starters on defense and offense. I mean, and they lost games that they shouldn't lose. So I mean, it's not as big as it would have been if they both were undefeated.
So Notre Dame, Miami, real quick. We want to jump into it. Miami. It's in Miami, right?
It's in Miami, right?
Yeah. No.
You think Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Nah, Miami.
It's gonna be close though. Low scoring, but
I mean, it'll be close with Miami.
I mean, do I think Brad Kaya, I'm going to say his name wrong. Kaya. Do I think he's good? Yeah. I also think that Notre Dame can come out and surprise people because here's why. Now that all of a sudden Notre Dame's been struggling this year, nobody's intimidated by it.
Bye week too, right?
Yeah.
They should have started Malik Zaire. That's just my
Zaire.
No,
Zaire.
they should have started neither one of those two.
Deshaun
Kaiser.
Oh, the young kid.
The young kid.
Oh, yeah, the young kid.
Because here's why. Deshaun Kaiser, to me, is vastly overrated. Malik Zaire is not that good. He's not consistent. So why don't you go with the young guy and see what you have for the next couple of years?
Where's that kid from? I heard about him, too.
He's from Jersey.
Yes, I did hear about him.
He's from, I believe he's from...
Up north
right? He's from around where I'm from.
Yeah, I did hear about him.
He was from, I believe he went to Seton Hall
I can't remember his name, but yeah, they said he's going to be
I'm sorry if he's watching this by any chance. I'm sorry if I don't remember his name. I apologize.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'm going with Notre Dame in that
Miami.
one.
I'm going
Close.
You want Miami?
Close.
So Clemson, Florida State, and Florida State. I will say this: if Clemson plays like they can play, Clemson will win the game.
Right.
But if Clemson does not show up, Dalvin Cook and them boys and DeAndre Francois can have something.
Who could be an
You think he's
Eagle
gonna
next year?
start?
Who could be an Eagle next year? Dalvin Cook.
DeAndre Francois.
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, he's gonna be good.
I wouldn't be surprised if Francois struggles to start the game. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Sean McGuire get in that game.
He always starts off slow.
When you look at Clemson, you look how much they lost with Shaq Lawson and the other boy. I can't.
The quarterback, right?
And also Goodson, the middle linebacker.
Goodson, right.
So I mean, they lost a lot of defensive starters. I mean, you still got Deshaun Watson there.
Right.
But I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I do think Clemson will win the game, but I want to see what Dalvin Cook can do. Because, like you said, I've been on Dalvin Cook.
You have been. I give you that. And he could be Eagle next year because he actually dropped a little bit.
Really?
As far as on the
that would really shake. Yeah.
All we need now is Minnesota to take a nosedive.
Little bit down, and we got to run back of the future
to kind of get us right in that mid-team pick range.
I'm actually going to take in this game. I'm going to take Clemson. It's going to be a close game, like you said. Is that Florida State?
I think it's going to be. I know what the over/under is.
I'm not sure offhand, but Florida State is just running high. They want to try to get everything together to make a nice bowl. So it's going to be a tight game. But I just think now the key is if like you said, Clemson comes out not playing the way they played. If they play anything like they played in the NC State game, Florida State's going to win. Right. But if they come out firing on all cylinders like they should, I have Clemson winning 28. No, I'm sorry, 38 to 20. 38 to 20. This is what I do, man. This is what I do, man.
I give scores too. I mean, if you want me to give you a score, I mean,
that's what I do.
I agree with both of you. I think Clemson's going to win this game. Even though it's in Florida State, and I was really surprised that a lot of people are saying, no, Clemson's going to lose this game. I'm like, no, it's not going to happen. Right. But like you said, if Clemson doesn't come out and play well,
they still got they can lose. They can, and they actually can afford a loss because they already beat Louisville.
Right. I mean, they beat Louisville, and Florida State's not going to. In my opinion, Florida State's not going to catch up. Yeah. They're not going to. Unless, Clemson has not a bad game. But I'm going to say Clemson's going to win this game 24-17. I think it's close. And I think...
You think it's going to be that low of a score?
Because I feel like both teams are going to get off to... The reason I'm saying this is because I feel like both teams are going to get up to a slow start. Because if you look at, like, Francois, he normally, like you said, gets off to a very slow start in the game. Deshaun Watson, if you remember in the game against Louisville, he got off to a relatively slow start.
He did.
He didn't get off to the world's greatest start.
Didn't that end up in the 30s anyway?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I know that, but
now,
at the same time,
is Wayne Gellman out? I heard something about Wayne Gellman. Is he playing today? Wayne Gellman?
I believe he is. Yes,
okay.
I heard that he was practicing this week, and they said he was going to be a game time.
That controversial hit he got last week.
Right.
From, can't remember who it was. They were talking about.
Yeah, he was mad about that.
Yeah, he was really mad about it. He was sad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he was mad that the teammates did
a cheap shot. Yeah.
Right, that was a cheap shot.
So and then we have Michigan State, and
throw the records out.
It's actually in Lansing.
It's actually in Lansing.
East Lansing, yep.
Last year they had that big controversial muff punt, and they won a game off of that.
So I will tell you this. Feel bad for that punter.
The line on this game is 24 and a half, around 25, 24 and a half. So that's a road. Michigan's a road favorite. Yeah.
Oh, forget that.
So I'm actually liking Michigan State to cover, but they will win the game. I think Michigan will win the game handily. Yeah, I just think Jim Harbaugh, they pro-style offense.
They're playing, man.
They're just playing. They're very balanced. They got the boy Peppers, who was a Heisman hopeful.
Coming from a Rutgers fan who saw him play a couple weeks ago, yeah, I can totally agree with that.
The wide receiver is a top 10 wide receiver. I can't remember his name. He's escaping right now. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
He's a top 10 wide receiver.
Oh, is it the? Oh, it's the kid with
something.
It's the kid. It's the J.U. Chesson.
Yes.
I think it's J.U. Chesson. Yeah.
He's a top 10.
I was gonna say he had the cool name. I like his name.
And then they also had the kid who was the #1 recruit coming to college from Jersey.
Yeah.
The lineman, right?
Yeah. So he's been playing. So listen, for
half
me,
the team is Jersey. If you think about it.
I think Michigan will win the game easily. I don't think they'll cover. But there's a team out there. If you guys want to lay some money down, not advocating betting. If you have a problem, if you do have a problem gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER. But Northwestern at Ohio State after the loss against Penn State.
Okay.
27-point favorite. I don't think it's going to be close. I'm probably going to win some money today.
Okay. All right. So listen, I'm going. It's going to be tight. You got to throw. Listen, any type of game like this with two rivalries, you got to throw the records out. In-state rivalries, you got to throw the records out. I mean, I know Michigan State's 2-5 right now. Michigan's 7-0. But to be honest with you, it's going to be a tight game. They're going to be playing for bragging rights in Michigan. So honestly, I'm going to say it's going to be closer than what everyone thinks. I'm thinking offhand we're looking at probably 28-21, something in that
So
neighborhood.
you're saying Michigan State?
Michigan's going to win the game, but Michigan State, like, as you said, is going to cover. So I'm going Michigan.
Thoughts, Mr. Neal?
I think you're both wrong, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think Michigan State's going to win the game.
Oh,
really?
You
And
think
the reason I say this is because of this reason.
Okay.
Yes, Michigan State has had a very disappointing season.
Yes.
They were, what, 7th in the country to start the year?
Yes, they were.
And they won their first, 4 games. They were very good. Then they started shaking off. The first notice I noticed was when they struggled against Notre Dame at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And so, but the reason I say this is because, number one, it's in East Lansing. That whole stadium's going to be packed.
Yeah. It's going to be rocking.
That's huge.
It's going to be rocking.
That's huge. And also, it's Michigan.
Yeah.
And we all know what happened last year.
Throw the records out.
Did Michigan State deserve to win that game last year?
No.
In my opinion, no. They had no shot in heck of winning that game. That was the only way they were going to win it. So everybody was saying, oh, it's a fluke. But the reason I say this is because Michigan State is going to have a lot of energy, and I feel like Michigan, once again, in my opinion, is feeling overconfident. Being overconfident could really hurt you in the long run. Do I think Michigan has a great offense? Absolutely. I saw them play Rutgers. I know they have a really good offense. But at the same time, I agree with you on the thing. It's going to be close.
Yeah, it's going to be real close.
I think Michigan State's going to win this game, though. I really do. I think Michigan is going to just not take them.
They're not going to take them. They're not going to take them serious.
Seriously, they're going to be like, oh, well, Michigan State's having an off year.
I don't know. I disagree with that part.
I think Jim Harbaugh though realizes the fact that Michigan State can come out and beat you regardless of whether they're bad or not.
Harbaugh is an alum of Michigan. He played for Michigan. He started for Michigan. I think he'll have the boys ready to play. I just have that feeling in my heart.
I want to go with Michigan State's going to win this game 24-21. Close game. I think it's going to come.
So once again, based on what I said, I'm going to win money.
You're going to win money regardless.
You're going to win money.
So check.
So, and also I want to make a quick note on Northwestern versus Ohio State. To be honest, I feel like the loss to Penn State was a fluke. I mean, do I give a lot of credit to Penn State? Absolutely. It's a fluke.
It was a fluke.
Come on, think about it.
Did
that really look like Ohio State to you?
Hey.
Did it really look like Ohio State to you?
It didn't, but it's going to look like it today. But, I mean, it happens. I mean,
I get they're playing Northwestern,
but that's what I'm saying. Those games, some of those games,
I remember that year that Northwestern was like top 10 in the country. It was a couple of years ago, and so was Ohio State, and they had that big game in Northwestern. It was huge. I
remember that, yeah.
They had college game day there, and that was like the first time in like 10 years that they had college game day in Northwestern.
You know what's really interesting, and I just saw it, and I know we got to move, but the team that really is interesting right now, and I didn't even know they're undefeated. Nebraska's 7-0. Did you guys know that?
No. Are they really?
Rick Spielman's son is on that team too.
Really? They're 7-0 right now, and they're not.
And they're not even ranked.
Quiet.
Are they ranked?
But they're not being talked about.
What are they? 15th?
So.
Probably
I don't even know, 15 somewhere, but I'm saying they're undefeated.
Do
Nebraska.
you think they could give Michigan or Ohio State a run for their money?
We'll see.
Are they in the Big Ten now?
Yeah.
They're in the Big Ten. They've been in the Big Ten. They've been in there for years.
Yeah.
For a long time.
So, but I'm saying, like, no one knew. Like, I didn't know Nebraska was undefeated until.
I didn't know until you just told me right now.
They're undefeated right now. So.
Have they played anybody?
Yeah.
They played Oregon.
They played Oregon. I mean, even though Oregon was
not even.
Yeah, but Oregon was good at the time they played.
They were good. Yeah. But plus, they're in the Big Ten, so I mean, they're going to get some credit. And I think they played Michigan this year too.
They play Michigan, and I think they also play Ohio State.
They're
in the same conference.
There it is.
Yeah.
So watch out for Nebraska. So, we'll see.
So we both now, like I said, money line wise, definitely lay some bread on Michigan State. Ohio State's a no-brainer today. Now we'll switch it over to NFL.
Yes.
I'm gonna start right with it. You want to win some money tomorrow? Go Pats -6 at Buffalo.
-6. That's all.
No LaShawn McCoy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Revenge game.
Is he definitely out, by the way?
He's
out for sure. They ruled him out already. Yesterday they ruled him out.
They ruled him out.
Well, there goes my fantasy week.
Really?
Shoot.
You don't pick up.
Well, I had DeMarco Murray and LaShawn McCoy. So.
DeMarco Murray's been.
I also got a Crowell from the Browns, so I don't know. I guess I'll put him in.
Well, he's playing the Jets.
Yeah, he'll be in.
Yeah, he'll probably be on.
Yeah.
But listen, I've just been told in the air place we got to take a quick break. When we come back on the other side, we're gonna go through a whole list of NFL picks, and then I don't know if we have a YGTG. If we don't, that we'll leave that time to hype up for tomorrow's pep rally.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For the Radio Vision Network Sports family, I'm Pete, Neil, Aaron. Stick with us. We'll be back on the other side.
O201.
Today's show is sponsored by Hardgrove Demolition, your demolition experts. Hardgrove is a family-owned and operated business right here in the southern New Jersey area, bringing you 45 years of demolition expertise. Hardgrove has all your demolition needs, from emergency demolition service to demolition equipment rental. Hardgrove is one of the state-approved recycling facilities right here in the southern New Jersey area. No job is too big or too small for Hardgrove Demolition. Contact them today at one of their 3 locations.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to give a sub some sizzle, this is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
If you haven't been to Speed Raceway, what are you waiting for? You want to live fast? You want to make every second count? Then grab the family. Round up the guys. Speed Raceway is 100,000 square feet of excitement, whether you're a kid or a kid at heart. Speed Raceway is the place for endless fun all summer long. Log on to speedraceway.com or just get here now.
When we make Beyond Natural dry dog and cat foods, we start with real meat as the first ingredient. We leave out corn, wheat, and soy. And we own where our dry food is made. 100%. Can other brands say all that? For nutrition you can trust and your pet will enjoy. Does your food go beyond? Learn more at purinabeyond.com.
Extra Innings is the nation's premier indoor baseball and softball training center, featuring indoor batting cages, 7 multi-use tunnels, and training rooms. Extra Innings can provide professional instruction, private and group lessons, and the best year-round clinics. Along with a nationally recognized pro shop that features the latest and widest selection of equipment and apparel, our experienced staff can provide you with the right instruction and help you find the best equipment for your ability and budget. Extra Innings, where the game never ends.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
You reminisce talking about Carson Wentz and how he looked against the Vikings last week, and the adversity that he's faced so far. But look, we're going to get into our picks. As we said, all Eagles talk and Cowboys talk. We're going to park it like that. If you want to see it, look, there's 2 ways you can watch it. You hear our opinion. You can either watch it live via our Ustream and YouTube channel, Radio Vision Network tomorrow. Or better yet, you might as well catch us live in person. I mean, I look good on screen, but I look better in person. You know what I mean?
Come there and check it out.
This camera add 10 pounds. You know,
have some good food. You know,
great
good drinks. Watch the games. You know, it's a great atmosphere. Come out and enjoy
meatball and ricotta pizza.
Oh. Yes, it's serious. It's serious. Then you come meet us.
So good.
You know, meet y'all, talk to the family, as I call them, the family. So, good stuff.
I'm sorry, I kind of zoned out.
Yeah,
I felt a little hateration.
I'm kind of hungry.
No, I was thinking about the meatball.
That was really good.
And they
that
had some
was awesome.
They had some good waitresses over there too.
Then they had.
What do we got? Time out a second. What did you just say?
I said they had some good waitresses and waiters over there.
And what do you mean by that?
They do.
You'll come out tomorrow.
Come out tomorrow, check it out. But anyway, we gotta move forward, guys.
Yeah,
we gotta finish the
So our picks for this week, the games we're gonna toss up.
Sure.
We're going to do Pats Bills. We all agree Pats are going to win. The line on that game is -6.
Right.
It's a revenge game. Tom Brady Gronkowski, you can see they start to click now, and
Yeah,
also
it's a
Martellus
wrap.
Bennett.
We already know.
Are we really that surprised that Brady and Gronk are already?
Yeah,
clicking?
we don't have to talk about it. We know who won that game.
We don't have to talk about that.
Sidebar, real quick. Sorry, this is yes or no question. Is Gronk the best tight end ever?
No.
No.
Really?
Wait, ever?
No.
What? No. No.
Really?
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I mean,
second
do
game,
you want to get into that discussion
no,
right
no,
now?
No,
I mean,
it'll take too long.
Yeah.
So then we have Saints and Seahawks.
Yeah.
In New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm going. Honestly, this is the Jimmy Graham
Is
game.
it in Seattle?
It's in New Orleans.
In New Orleans.
It's the Jimmy Graham
Brandon
Bowl.
Cooks is going to have a good game.
Brandon Cooks going to have a great game.
I don't know about a great game.
I think he may have a great game this game. But honestly, I'm gonna say this: this is a game with Jimmy Graham, man. This is one of those things where you want to show him up. You know, you guys traded me. I'm upset. You sent me over here. Now I'm coming back to play you guys. So look for any fantasy people out there. Jimmy Graham is the one you want to pick up.
Now the line on that game is Seattle's a 2.5 point favorite,
which I think is realistic.
Right.
Because the reason why I say that is because
that's a pick 'em though.
Yeah, but it's a pick 'em. But I think it's real because New Orleans is tough at home. They play on that fast service. You know, they're going to throw the ball out, and they're going to score a lot. So I'm thinking honestly, it's going to be close. I'm thinking honestly 38, 30, 31, somewhere in that line.
Who do you think is going to win?
I'm going Seattle. I think Russell Wilson will have to have a big game as well.
I'm gonna go with New Orleans in this one. Like we just said, a lot of offense. I'm going with but I feel like it's not gonna be close like that. I'm gonna go with 31-14.
I would say this.
The reason I say this is because if you look at, I noticed this recently. If you remember when Russell Wilson was having his problems with his knee,
his MCL,
his MCL. He played against the Jets, and for a while he didn't look that good. He looked like he was one-dimensional.
Yeah, he could move.
I still feel like he's one-dimensional.
But even if that's the case,
but if you force him out of pocket, it's going to be harder for him.
I don't think New Orleans has a defensive line.
That's what I'm saying.
True.
I mean,
I get it. I think it's going to be a closer game than people think.
It's going to be close.
Because New Orleans does play so well at home, but at the same time, you automatically that defense is not going to change.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They looked somewhat decent against Kansas City last week. I mean, but at the same time, I think Breeze will throw an interception. Seattle does force you into a turnover or two. Now, don't get me wrong. Seattle offensive line we seen last week in Arizona. Right. They're not a strong suit. That's another landing spot possibly for Joe Thomas as well.
Absolutely.
But I still think Seattle has enough weapons, and that defense is that defense, and I'm going to ride with Seattle until proven otherwise.
Watch out for Michael Bennett. He'll have 3 sacks.
That is a
watch out for Michael Bennett, and that's why I say
they're going to lose. April too.
That's why I said they're going to lose because they're going to have the last drive. It's going to be tight. And Seattle's going to be up 38-31, like I'm saying.
No timeouts, right?
And Michael Bennett's going to get the sack to win the game.
Right.
Watch.
All right.
Okay. And then we have Carolina hosting Arizona. Carolina coming off their bye week. This is a rematch in the NFC Championship game from last year, but
how disappointing are they right now?
Both teams.
Yeah,
both teams. So it's
not Arizona to me as much, but yeah, definitely Carolina.
Yeah, but the expectations for Arizona, even they're saying they should be an undefeated team. I mean, that New England game they should have won. Yeah, they said it last week. The New England game they should have won. They lost by the last kick.
The Seattle game?
And the Seattle game, the kicker missed again. The kicker's really, the kicker's really kicking them.
I couldn't believe that.
The Buffalo Bills game, though? They got aired out.
Oh, they got screwed.
Oh, they did get screwed on that one. They did get waxed on that one. But other than that,
messed up.
They feel they should have only one loss, or if not one loss, be undefeated. I mean, honestly, Arizona, coming into the season, I thought Arizona would be the favorite to go Super Bowl. Were you guys feel that way?
Coming into this season?
Coming into the season, didn't you think Arizona would be the favorite to get to the Super Bowl?
To get to it, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I could see that.
Not win, but get there.
I could see, or
coming into the season,
or at least get really close.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I'm more shocked that Carolina's bad because I didn't think Josh Norman meant that much. That defense is just one part.
Oh, he did.
But you can see that he
evident.
That game against Atlanta.
Yeah.
Didn't they cut the guy that gave up 200 yards to Julio?
Yeah. So I mean, this is just another little sidebar. Mm-hmm. I think that another trade target, because you don't see a lot of trades, but the trade deadline is November 1st. I know the Eagles want to get some trades with Alshon and Torrey Smith. Now I actually saw an article, possibly Brandon Marshall.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Brandon Marshall. What, he want out?
No, well, I mean, the Jets aren't going anywhere.
Yeah,
of course not.
Think about this. If you're Brandon Marshall, if you had a chance to play with Carson Wentz, would you do it?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Exactly. So
Carson Wentz over
Fitzpatrick?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
you know how I feel about Fitzpatrick.
Well, Carolina, I think that they possibly can land like a Joe Hayden.
Okay, that I'd like to see.
That
I could see.
So they possibly can land Joe Hayden.
Is he available? I mean,
listen,
Cleveland.
That GM is making moves, bro. He's a Moneyball guy. He's all about making moves.
Right.
He's tanking
we're
right now.
talking about off camera.
Off camera, we talked about their
Right.
tank. Cleveland Browns people, family out there, the Cleveland Browns is tanking. End of story. They're gonna do whatever they need to do to get rid of assets
So they
and
can
get
get
more assets.
Deshaun Watson first overall.
That's the sweepstakes. That's what they want.
Another one of these.
So real quick, back to it. I'm going with the. Is that Carolina, right?
Carolina.
Carolina's coming off the bye week.
Carolina's gonna win this game.
I agree with that.
Yes.
31-21.
People. My first initial thought.
We go 38-17.
My first initial thought was Carolina coming off the bye week.
Oh,
Okay.
Here we go.
But.
Goddamn.
But when I look at Arizona's defense compared to how they played against Seattle.
Okay.
And then the revenge factor.
Okay.
As well. Coming off the tie.
Right.
Kicker missing the field goal.
Very right. Mm-hmm.
Two field goals.
Two.
He's got the
Bruce Arians is pissed.
Bruce
Arians is pissed. And if you look at what Carolina's defense is, their pass rush hasn't been there all year. If you look at their games, I watched some of the tape for each game. Their pass rush really isn't there, and they can't stop the run.
Nah.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. All this hype about Zeke, I get it. 700 yards, first 7 games of the season, average 130 yards the last 4 games. There's a board in Arizona that to me is the best running back in the league.
Listen,
David Johnson.
I've been high on him the first day I saw him play against Iowa. I'll never forget. I told my buddy, I said, this kid right here, he had 200-something yards at Iowa. And had 3 or 4
What college did you go to?
Northern Iowa. When I
Northern
first saw him play Iowa live, I said, yo, this dude right here. I said, the Eagles should get him. I mean, we should really get him. Of course, we passed up like we always do. But I knew he was going to be a stud. I mean, he's doing what he's
right. So that's why after I didn't think with my heart and I looked at it with my head.
Right.
I'm taking Arizona.
I like that.
Close game?
It's going to be close.
Yeah.
It's NFL.
Okay.
I mean, it's very much.
I feel like because the Cardinals' offense has been struggling, and obviously last
They're
week
going to break out.
I mean,
I think Michael Floyd's going to have a good game too.
Is Carson Palmer back?
He's been on the milk carton.
Carson Palmer's playing, right?
Yeah, he played last week. That was it was Carson Palmer's ghost. Last day. That was
you know what that was? And I think people are gonna get that was the Oakland Raiders Carson Palmer we saw.
But it was a good game.
This is
defensively.
It was a bad offense. Both offenses missed opportunities. They missed opportunities. It's a bad offensive play call game for both offenses.
But how much was that the defenses though? Because the defenses, I mean, those defenses are top 10
defenses played each other before. They play each other every year, and they have better scoring games than 6-6.
They have, but what I'm saying is the way they were both playing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these teams know each other, so I mean, honestly, I thought that was a great game. Even though it was low scoring, and the offenses were sporadic.
Right. I
thought it was a good game because you saw if you're a defensive guy, I like to see good defenses, and if you're a defensive guy, this is the game that you want to see last week. So I thought it was good.
So we went Saints, Seahawks, Cardinals, Panthers, Pats, Bills. We got 2 more games.
2 more?
2 more games. We're going to go San Diego, Denver, another revenge game. 2 weeks ago, you saw San Diego get the win on Thursday Night Football. Simeon probably was around 60% during that game.
Okay.
And Gary Kubiak did not coach that game.
No,
right.
So now you go back San Diego. And look, shout out to my boy Jesus, Neil's boy here. He's watching. He's over here. He's a San Diego Chargers fan. I'm sorry. He's not going to like what I'm going to say. But listen, I picked San Diego as a guarantee to lose this week because of the fact of 2. The Denver defense is rolling. I think Von Miller has double-digit sacks already. I think he has 10 sacks already.
He's a monster.
You feel like he has?
No, I think he does. I think he has 10 sacks already. Gary Kubiak is coaching.
It's not fair.
Simeon is healthy. They're finding more ways to get Demarius Thomas involved and Emmanuel Sanders. But I'm going to tell you the biggest reason is don't get me wrong, I like C.J. Anderson, but he just went on IR. That boy Devontae Booker.
Oh, yes.
Deal.
Yes.
Holyfield.
Devontae Booker now gets his shot. This is his platform. His shot was signed. And then Denver's defense in Denver, in Mile High, you just beat them.
Yeah.
I don't know what the score. I'm gonna say
low scoring.
27-17.
Okay.
27-17.
I'm going 21-17 Denver.
Okay. Yeah.
21-17 Denver.
Real quick, it's not fair. My Vaughn Miller.
It's
not fair.
Oh,
come
on.
As just watching. No, I'm saying to be that good, to be that size. Yeah. No one. I don't think. I've been watching football for a long time. He has that move that he makes with the dip.
Yeah.
All the kids out there that's watching and playing defense end, Watch Von Miller, because that dip, man, you can't stop it.
No, what the dip does, when you dip low like that underneath the offensive line's arms, and you add that speed to
and
it,
then the leverage,
it knocks the leverage
that
off.
leverage.
And playing the defensive line,
it's not fair.
line,
right?
It's all about leverage and
Yeah.
placement and hand placement.
And then he worked with Dwight Freeney, and no one knows it. They just mentioned last week.
Yeah.
He worked with Dwight Freeney to patent the spin move. And everyone knows Dwight Freeney's spin move was probably the best ever.
Oh,
so now
ridiculous.
he added that to his game. So
right.
So I'm going Denver all the way. It's just not fair to be that good. I mean,
now I will say this. San Diego would be in a better position. I do think they still have a shot to make the playoffs. I actually personally think the AFC West is the best division of football.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that.
Yeah,
a lot of experts are saying that.
When you look at Denver, Kansas
Raiders,
City, Oakland, and Chargers, listen, Joey Bosa is the real deal. He flashed last week, not only on the pass rushes, but he was in the backfield. He sniffed out run plays. If you'd have had this dude the whole season, it could look a lot different.
Yeah,
their record could be different.
Yeah, I mean, the Chargers are known to start off slow and then at the end of the year they peak. So, like you said, it is possible they may sneak in. But honestly, with that division the way they are,
they're called the Chargers for a reason. They're quiet at first.
I like that. But I'm saying with that defense this year, I'm sorry,
so cheesy sometimes.
Oh, brother.
The AFC West right now is like Pete said, is the best division right now. So we'll see. It could be interesting. It could be interesting.
All right, so we're on agreement with Denver.
Denver,
yeah.
So the last game, this is probably the most interesting game of the week, and it is Fox's America game of the week.
Okay.
And that's Packers at Falcons. It's going to be a high-scoring game, in my opinion. Sam Shields is out again. Julio. And the way the Falcons... Now, sorry, Jesus, again, I'm sorry. San Diego really didn't win that game last week. The Chargers gave it to them. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No. The Falcons gave it to them by going for a 4th and 1 from their own 39. So I don't know why Dan Quinn did that in overtime. That's stupid. But with that being said, the Falcons are at home again, facing Green Bay. You know, so
that's another guy. That's easy.
I look for Matt Ryan and Julio to have a big day.
That's what I'm saying. I was going to say,
how about Matt Ryan though? Like, think about it. Holy,
he's balling. I mean, he's balling. But honestly,
I know we're only about halfway through the season. Do you guys think he could be in the running for the MVP?
Could be.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
Get some mentions.
No, he could.
I think
that's
so.
actually good. That's a good. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because the MVP. Into this far into the season, now Tom Brady missed the first 4 weeks.
Right.
He'll be in the conversation at the end. But when you really think about it, it's kind of hard to come up with other MVP type candidates. There's only 2 others I can think of besides Brady.
Zeke.
That's crazy.
That's impressive.
That's the sneaky.
Well, when you're a Ferrari, that's what happens.
Right.
Yeah, but
that man's Ferrari.
Right.
You talk about he can win NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year
and Rookie of the Year. Yeah, Rookie of the Year
and MVP.
MVP. Which would be one
when
heck of a job.
When you are Ferrari, that man's a human Ferrari.
I want to see how he
runs.
I want to see Fletcher Cox sniff through the line and have him and Zeke 1-on-1.
I'd like to see that too.
Because this is what I think.
Don't sleep though, because he does take big dudes out too.
That's true.
He does, but this is my thing.
He's
you remember
guy.
the New Orleans Philadelphia Eagles playoff game?
Yes.
First play of the game, swung past Reggie Bush.
Oh, he got knocked out, right? Yeah.
I want to see something like that tomorrow. That's just to give you a quick tip. But let's get back to the game.
Yeah,
Packers, Falcons.
Right.
So I'm going Falcons.
Okay.
I think they had too much firepower, and Green Bay, their defense is just not their whole on the secondary. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Aaron Rodgers found his groove last Thursday night against the Bears. But even with that being said, I just think the Falcons have more weapons.
Yeah, real quick, and I know we're moving out of time, but real quick, Falcons all day. Julio, I mean, he's just. There's no words to express how good he is. I mean, he's big. So I'm going Falcons 31-24.
I also agree. I think Falcons are going to win. I just think that Matt Ryan and Julio Jones and that offense is just too good. I think the defense for the Packers is suspect.
Yes.
And I agree with you. I know that Aaron Rodgers found his groove, but for most of that game, like I was talking to somebody like, they just don't look like Packers of old. So I'm going to go with 35-21.
Okay.
Now, even though the Packers had an extra 3 days, people forget before Brian Hoyer got hurt in that game, the Bears were moving the ball.
Right.
They were moving the ball. They were moving the ball. So I definitely like Atlanta. And I think it's going to be in a high-scoring game. I think like 35-31, something like that. But listen, real quick before we go off the air, who's your Heisman winner up to this point so far?
You go first.
Okay. I'm gonna say Lamar Johnson. I'm sorry, Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
And I mean, just the way he's balling right now. I mean, he's one of those guys who he's a dual threat guy.
Yeah.
He's averaging what 2 to 3 runs per game, touchdowns, and he's also throwing for 4 touchdowns a game. So I'm gonna go Lamar Jackson all the way.
Did it again.
Now,
What Johnson
Right.
Jackson? Jackson all the way.
Now, I had this argument with Aaron earlier. I don't agree with that. I think that the Heisman Trophy winner is going to be Jake Browning out of Washington. And the reason I say this is because the dude is just throwing touchdowns after touchdowns. This offense is lighting it up. They're undefeated. They're number, what are they, 3 now? Oh, no,
Yeah, they're
4.
I think.
They're 4 in the country. They have a chance to possibly win the Pac-12 championship and also get in the college football playoff. And that would be huge for people. To see a team like Washington, who probably nobody expected to even be undefeated at this point, let alone have a chance to play in the college football playoff. And he's been one of the main reasons. He's been throwing it up, and he has the fewest interceptions of anybody in college football right now.
I mean, he is balling.
He's balling.
He's balling.
I get that Lamar Jackson is doing it, but you also have to remember this. Remember this.
Look at the level of competition though. He's playing Pac-12 compared to ACC.
Oh, come on. I think the Pac-12 is better than the ACC.
Listen, when I think about the Heisman and I think about what the winners are, it's not so much the best overall player. It's the MVP really of college football. When you look at it, I mean, I understand Jake Brown. I get it. I get the Jabril Peppers as well. I mean, you had an argument for Deshaun Watson, Christian McCaffrey. They based on their performance,
Christian fell off. Yeah.
Christian's done.
He's hurt too.
When you just look at overall what the Heisman means and what that committee looks for, it screams Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
it does.
It screams
it's a stats thing. It's really a stats thing.
I mean, but look what he does.
That's why Andrew Luck 2 years in a row lost the Heisman Trophy to Tim Tebow, and then he lost to RG3. Stats wise, had nothing to do with
but look
had nothing to do with success.
Look what he does. But also, like he said, look what he does. His body work on the field. If you see what he does, I mean, this guy.
I'm not disrespecting the kid at all. I think he's great.
But I'm just saying compared to Browning. I mean, let's take Browning off the field. Let's take Jackson off the field. Where do you think Washington would be? Where do you think Louisville would be?
Louisville and Washington would both be like very low, and they would not be ranked.
That's what I'm saying. So you have to say now Washington has a decent defense.
Yes,
absolutely.
Without Jake Brown.
Without Jake Brown.
I still think they might have 1 or 2 losses, but they would still be above.
It'd still be good. Yeah.
You take Lamar Jackson off Louisville.
It's just
the done deal.
It's different. It's different, man.
Right.
So listen, man. That's it for this week. This week's mashup MVP. I could say
PSG MVP collaboration. Collabo, right?
So listen, once again, I cannot stress enough, we need you guys to come out and support the Radio Vision Network sports family.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow, Auntie's Coal Fire Pizza in Mount Laurel, Route 38. All 3 of us will be there. Keith will be in the building. Pop will be in the building. Jesus, you coming?
You gotta work.
Well, he works at Chipotle, so hey, everybody knows you need your Chipotle.
I want some Chipotle.
So listen, everybody enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Be safe out there. Stay warm. It's getting close to mischief night.
Oh yeah, be
if
careful
you see a
out there,
clown on the road, just keep driving by. Have a good one. We out.
I got a different answer for that, but I ain't gonna say it right now on camera.
You didn't do the fade to black?
Nah, I'll save it for another day because I couldn't.
I'll save it for the basement. Baylor played